Fam, what's going on? Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? What's going on? Kyle Anderson, Bama Football on YouTube, coming to you live on Thursday, September 5th, just a couple days before the big one here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as Alabama hosts South Florida. A little bit of payback for last year. I don't care if last year was last year. I'm still mad about last year. All right. I want Alabama to roll right through South Florida. Hit the thumbs up if you love the Alabama Crimson Tide. I appreciate you guys being here. What's going on to everybody inside the comment box? We got Patriot Life up in here. We got Caitlin, Rocketown, David. We got Jonesy, Tim Pitt. We got Bob. We got Jeff. We got Tough as Nails. We got Chris from New Jersey. We got Kyle Berry. I appreciate you guys. Jarvis. Man, we got all the celebrities up in here today. I love it. Oh, Rock Guy, what's up, man? Brent Adams. Roll the Bulls. Roll the Bulls. Oh, I love that. Oh, man. All right, so on the show today, and if you're listening to Spotify, I appreciate you guys. Type in Bama Football on YouTube. Also on Facebook as well. Look up Bama Football on YouTube. TikTok. Where else? X. All right, but everything comes here. Bama Football on YouTube. Oh, I was on Bleacher Report yesterday too. Every Wednesday during September at 5 p.m. Patriot Live in with 5 fan funderships, helping grow the community right here on Bama Football on YouTube. You can do the same thing. Hit the hyperlink above the home page, which says join to support Bama Football. Only $2.99. What's a cup of coffee at Starbucks? It's expensive, right? All right, on the show today, Kadyn Proctor, we get another update. Looks like he's day to day. That's what Coach Kalen DeBoer said on the Hey Coach show last night. I don't think he'll play this weekend, but he might. Day to day. David in with the super chat, $9.99. What's up, man? Appreciate you. We're going to talk about Jeff Allen. Yo, he's so priceless. I started thinking about the injuries that Alabama's had last year and this year, okay? And then I got into a wormhole about overall just Jeff Allen. I did. Can you type J for Jeff Allen if you know how important he is to the program? We're going to dive into Jeff Allen. Critical piece. All right, you guys like the hoodie? All right, so let's do the the outfit of the day. All right, so I'm rocking the Rose Bowl hat. I got this when I went to the Rose Bowl. They had this in white too. I couldn't find it. It was really hot at the Rose Bowl, and then it got really cold. It was the weirdest temperature. First time out to Pasadena, and then. That was my daughter. She just texted me. We forgot her lunchbox. So I text her and I'm like, I'm going to take your lunch to you after my show. I was like, where are you? She's so literal. She's 11. I'm like, where are you at 10:30? I should have asked her, what class are you in? And I have her class schedule. And she texts back and she's like, at 10:30, I'm in class. Well, yeah, you are in class. I got the hat is from the Rose Bowl. I get it. It's not a wound to me. That was a good experience. The hat is tight. The rose is fire. And then this, the hoodie up top is from the soup store, the student store. So I get all of really, like if I want some new gear, I just go to the student store. And they're supposed to have some new Lank merchandise. And by the way, I did order from Athlete's Thread. I got myself a Jalen Miro jersey, a hoodie, and a Ryan Williams jersey or a hoodie as well. You know about the hoodies. So I'll let you know. They're in the mail. We're going to talk about Jeff Allen. See, everybody knows Jeff Allen. Type J to support. if you know the impact that he has, type J. Courtney, what's up? Jeff, what's going on? Appreciate you. Tough as nails. We're going to talk about the injury report for Saturday. Mention some guys that we need to talk about with the injuries. Did you see Scott Cochran was back in town? He's been making the rounds. I love to see it. I don't know. Look, I know that he went through some stuff. We're going to talk about it, but man, people go through stuff in life. And I think when you kind of zoom out and you look at what he's been able to do and the impact that he's been able to have, I mean, he's been a part of 8 national championship teams. 8. I guess I skipped ahead. We're going to highlight Chris Stewart. He called Coach DeBoer last night, Coach Saban. Simple mistake, but it was funny. And then give them their money. Hey, we're going to talk about guys in the NFL that have been absolutely paid. It's almost like $1 billion now that guys who have been here, gone to the NFL, that they got paid. I mean, yesterday, Patrick Surtain got absolutely paid. I'm going to ask you about the Texas and Michigan game at the back end of the show, and also Colorado and Nebraska. Those will be the 2 games that we talk about on the back end. Appreciate you guys being here. Robert, what's up, man? Morning, Kyle from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, Alabama 45, South Florida 21. Score predictions tomorrow on Friday, but I love it. 21 points, man. I think it'll be Jarvis. What's the total for the game tomorrow? Jarvis is telling me that Baltimore and Kansas City playing tonight. Finally got some NFL. Okay, so on my fantasy squad, I got Travis Kelce. But for you Raven fans out there, man, I think out of all the places that Derrick Henry could have went, a perfect landing spot was the Ravens. Yo, if you're living in the AFC, you got to be scared because he still has a lot of miles on him. And that defense pairs up perfectly with the ground and pound type team. I think Derrick Henry is going to flourish. I thought about picking him for my fantasy team. He got picked a little bit before. But, man, I think he's going to do really, really well. With the I'm out of all the places in the NFL that he could have gone, the Ravens, that scares me. I'm a 49ers fan. I'm on the other side. I'm in the NFC. All right, so the total for the game is 63.5. Oh, man, I think it goes over that just because Bama does score. I can't see South Florida racking up a lot of points. Now, I guess they score. I don't know. This defense, they were ferocious last time. Plus, they got something a little bit extra to play for. Whether they want to say it or not, I think they want to beat the out of South Florida. I just do. Jeff's taking the Chiefs tonight. It's gonna be fun to watch the NFL. I might look at DraftKings, see what's going on after my nice little score from Alabama and Western Kentucky. DraftKings account looking solid. All right, let's get to point number 1, and let's talk about Kadyn Proctor and theoretically what the offensive line can look like. All right, so if Kadyn Proctor, which right now he's day-to-day, I guess he could play on Saturday. But let's look at some hypothetical situations if he doesn't play. By the way, by your guys' request, a lot of you have asked me to put the jersey numbers on the graphics. I messed around with it. I haven't done it for every single position yet, but this is how it could look like. I want to keep the icons on. For example, the C means captain and the transfer icon as well, like Parker Brailsford, for example. His jersey number 72, that's a transfer icon that he's a transfer in, and then the star represents that he's an All-American. Tyler Booker, number 52, the C represents that he's a captain, and the star represents that he's an All-American. Does that look aesthetically eye-pleasing to you? Is it easy to look at? I want to make sure that you guys can see the numbers, right? Because I was starting to think about that too. I mean, there's a lot of players. I mean, some of the players have the same number. For example, Ryan Williams is 2, so is Xavier Brown. Not that you would get them confused, but still, I mean, there's 2 players when they have the same number. We even have number 0 this year, right, with Deontay Lawson. All right, so let's say that Kadyn Proctor doesn't play in this upcoming game. Theoretically, one scenario is that Elijah Pritchett plays left tackle. That seems to make the most sense. And then you have Tyler Booker at left guard. You have Parker Brailsford in at center. You have Jaden Roberts at right guard, and you have Wilkin Formby at the right guard, or at the right tackle position, right? No, Proctor's, he's not out for the year. No, not at all. Like, it's day to day. And you might be thinking, what? Like, because a lot of people, they don't always see the news. So go easy on everybody. It's day to day. He could play Saturday. Coach Kalen DeBoer said that it's just day to day, and it's a shoulder injury. There's a lot of different things that can go wrong with your shoulder. There's been different reports that it was a dislocation. I think Touchdown Alabama said that. We were never able to figure out what exactly it was, but shoot, if he's day-to-day, that's good. No, I get you, Venta. You come in here. If you just came in here and you're like, is he out for the year? You don't know. No, it's all good. Don't sweat it. What we're doing right now is we're looking at theoretical lineups if Kadyn Proctor just sits out this Saturday. But day-to-day is a great – I didn't expect it to be day-to-day, to be honest. I thought it was kind of week-to-week, and then it got to game day-to-day. So this is one scenario. You have Elijah Pritchett, who played 34 snaps last week against Western Kentucky at that left tackle position, okay? Garrett, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. The other scenario is this. So there was a picture that was floating around yesterday on Roll Tide. They post practice photos after each practice. And Tyler Booker was working at left tackle. I love it because you have Tyler Booker, very experienced. Then you put Geno Vandermark, who's a very experienced transfer that came in. You put him at left guard. You put Parker Brailsford at center. You put Jaden Roberts at right guard. And you put Welcome Formby at right tackle. I like it. JS Webb, what's up, man? I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, I'm always happy, man. Anytime that you get an opportunity to, be here, have another day, it's a blessing for sure. I got a lot of I have a lot of gratitude for a lot of things that are going on in my life. And just like you, honestly, like I'm no different than anybody else inside the chat box. I go through different things, ups and downs. You see a lot of my positivity on here, but I'm going through stuff just like you. I promise you. Like right now, my shoulder, I had to go get it checked out yesterday by a physical therapist. It looks like it's a sprained AC joint. So, we'll kind of take it easy. But you know how important my workouts are to me. So, hopefully it doesn't look like it's anything serious. So I'm going to watch it for like a couple more weeks and kind of see where it goes. But yeah, got the workout in this morning. Felt good. I just like the brotherhood of it and the camaraderie of the guys. I like it. It's really important to me. I think fostering kind of that brotherhood and growth is really important for men. So if you're out there, find your F3 group or find your group. Be good people. I actually like this offensive line, to be honest, with Tyler Booker out on the left and Geno Vandermark. I thought it was a huge score to get Geno Vandermark. He's like that guy off the bench that you need in like a basketball rotation when you have 5 starters and then you get somebody off the bench. He's like that guy because he could play center, he could play right guard, he could play left guard. Good to go. Feel really good about him. I would like to see, I honestly think Tyler Booker would crush it at left tackle. I really do. So we'll keep you posted, but day to day, that's the update. So when you go out there and you're talking to people, it's day to day. It's not a season-ending injury. It's day to day. He could very well play. I don't think he'll play, but now I'm not like so sure about that because, man, the man wants to play. He wants to play. Somebody inside the comment box yesterday said they were like, I did a short video, and I was like, the update from Coach Kalen DeBoer is day to day. And somebody was like, he looked absolutely fine at Wingstop. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, how many wings do you think Kadyn Proctor throws down? Seriously, when Kadyn Proctor goes to Wingstop, how many wings do you think he's ordering? You think he's throwing down like 24, 30? I don't know. All right, appreciate you guys being here on the show. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Proctor day-to-day looked at some theoretical lineups for Alabama this Saturday if he doesn't play. If he does play, put him at the left tackle position. It would be the first time that we saw Kadyn Proctor play this season. Got hurt in warmups. He is a transfer. He did transfer back from Iowa. I know people are like, don't listen to him as a transfer. He transferred. I know it is what it is. So people saying inside the comment box that Kadyn Proctor eats 20 wings. I think it's way more. Sweet Home Alabama saying 200. I'm saying way less. Miss Careless is saying 20 for sure. 50. I'm thinking honestly between 40 and 50 wings. I'm serious. Oh, and you know what? I love Wingstop, but that ranch hits. It does. It's so good. I love the ranch. I think it might be the best ranch in town. In town. If I lived in the city, you could tell I'm like from a town now, not a city. From the town. Oh man, I'm turning country living in Tuscaloosa. I love it. I'm a townie. All right, okay. So, you know what was interesting is I started thinking about the players that were a little bit banged up, right? And here's kind of the injury report going into this game. Kadyn Proctor up top, shoulder, day-to-day. Deshaun Jones, I heard on one of the interviews that it looks like it's a hamstring. So let's list that as day-to-day. And that's on a corner who came in, but I think he'll be good to go. I haven't even seen anybody else talk about that, so I just listed him as day-to-day. I'm sure he's fine. Jeremiah Alexander, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what type of injury it is. I don't even know if he's like day-to-day or questionable. I just put unknown for each of those things. And then Jalen Hell, the leg, and he's out. A lot of people have asked about updates regarding Jalen Hell, who was injured in the springtime. I think it was clearly a pretty significant leg injury. I don't know exactly what it was. There's a lot of reports about different things. I do know that he posted on social media, I think before the season, he's like, yo, I'm trying to get better every single day. Thank you for the thoughts and prayers. So Jalen Hell is a wide receiver at the University of Alabama. Honestly, a lot of people had him starting this coming year. I know he's a younger guy, but that's how talented he is. And you look at the wide receivers that are currently playing, that says a lot about him. So, you know, keep him in your thoughts and prayers. And if we get an update on him at some point in time, we'll bring that to you. But when you look to the wide receivers, even next year for Alabama, Ryan Williams, Jalen Hell, Jaron Hamilton, Caleb Odom, Rico Scott. I mean, and there's a couple other guys that could come back who are, you know, a little bit more experienced even that are playing this year. So wide receiver, 0 drop off. So that's kind of what the injury report looks like. And then I started thinking about, I was like, man, you know, because we've been covering the daily beat of this team since they kicked off fall camp. And we can list a couple guys who have look, Alabama's had injuries this fall camp. Daniel Hill, upper body injury, right? He was in a sling. They got him back really fast. I mean, he played. He got some good snaps in the first game. Jam Miller was in a black jersey all fall camp pretty much. He came back. He looked perfectly fine. Zabian Brown, he had a club on his hand. They got him back up to speed. He played. He started. You had Jaden Roberts. This is what was crazy. Who had surgery on his hand after the second scrimmage, and he was perfectly fine for the first game. What were some other like small injuries that came up? And now you have Kadyn Proctor who hurts his shoulder, and it looks like he's going to be fine sooner than later. So I started kind of piecing that together. Then I started thinking about last year and some of the injuries that Alabama had. And what was amazing to me is how quick that these guys were able to get to full strength. Are you seeing the same pattern? It seems like when a guy, you know, gets a little bit injured, he's able to, like, his turnaround time is much faster than it was, I don't know, like 3 or 4 seasons ago. And I think a lot of it is because of this man, Jeff Allen. He's much more than an athletic trainer. He's the associate director of the Alabama sports medicine team. Now, if you've been to Tuscaloosa, I don't know, within the last 3 years, and you've gone by the Malmore, you see just to the left of the Malmore is the Alabama Sports and Science Center. This place is state of the art. If you look to the Crimson Trust Foundation, I think that's what it's called. It has a YouTube video. And this is from, like, I don't know, 2020, because I was watching it this morning, and they all have masks on. But that's kind of when I think it was built and, you know, kind of implemented into what Alabama has right now. This is high-level stuff. You're talking about top-end training. I don't even know, like, they're above NFL programs and what they have here at the University of Alabama. And, Jarvis, you're right. He's an absolute master at his craft. Did you know this? Coach Saban refers to Jeff Allen as the last man standing, meaning that he was the last guy still retained from when Coach Saban arrived in 2007. So when Coach Kalen DeBoer took over the program, it was so important. I don't think we put enough emphasis on these 2 points. Number one, Jeff Allen staying, because you have the whole sports medicine facility that stays intact. And then you also have David Ballou, who's been here for the last 4 or 5 seasons, right, as a strength and conditioning coach. And we're going to talk about a former one who was here yesterday. I know you guys were excited about that, right? Scott Cochran on campus. So there's a great article by Chris Lowe, of course, who does an amazing job for ESPN. This is a tiny quote from that article. And it says, Jeff is the secret recipe to how everything works here. Former Alabama nose guard DJ Dell said. Remember DJ Dell? And then the article, it's hilarious. So the first time it tells a story, it's a great story by Chris Lowe. So it was the very first time, it was 2007. And Jeff Allen and Coach Saban, they don't even know each other. Have no, so they meet and it's the first day of practice. And there was a really bad storm coming into town. And Coach Allen's like, hey, Coach Saban, we got to go inside. He was like, the weather's really bad. So they wait the 30 minutes. When a lightning bolt strikes and you got to wait 30 minutes before you get out. So Jeff Allen comes up to Coach Saban and he's like, hey, it's okay for us to go back outside. So they're walking from the Coleman Coliseum to the indoor practice, and this huge lightning bolt strikes right in front of them. And Coach Saban yells at him, and he's like, I hope you're a better trainer than you are a weatherman. It's I could just hear Coach Saban saying that. But I started thinking, I was like, man, this guy's been here since 2007, and he's been able to really elevate and help these players get healthy very quickly. I mean, God, Jane Roberts, you have surgery 10 years ago, 5 years ago. You're not playing the first game. We don't really know what happened to Kadyn Proctor, but he said that he's in the athletic training room 6-8 hours a day. I'll go full screen on this so you can see. This is from the Sports and Science Center, and this is this is from the Crimson Trust Foundation. Jeff Allen, Alabama Sports Medicine. The health and safety of our student athletes is a top priority. The new Sports Science Center, which is 3 years old, will take our medical care to the next level and help separate us from our competition. Jeff Allen, Associate Athletic Director of Sports Medicine. I mean, so this Sports and Science Center is going to come into play more than probably anything, more than it ever has, I think, because of the grind of this type of season. The length of this season. This is a pro season. This is 17, 16 games to win the national title. Think about all the nicks, the bangs you're going to have to do. Exactly. Health is wealth. So Alabama, man, the foresight to be able to have this facility on campus. I mean, it looks like, right here, you're just some tables. No. There's a video that you should watch, and it shows you all the stuff that Alabama has. And that's 3 years old. I can't even imagine what they have now. I was just thinking, I was like, wow, that's really amazing. Because I started thinking about the injuries that Alabama's had over fall camp, and these guys have been coming back like that. Other than that, Alabama's been relatively healthy. Love it. Love to see it. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Today is Thursday. Today is September 5th. Bama Football on YouTube. Kadyn Proctor, day to day. Yeah, Chad. Tua had surgery back then. It was next week. Yeah, was that the tightrope surgery? Remember the tightrope surgery on the ankle? Then he came back? Man, what a time to be alive. We were just hyping up Jeff Allen, talking about some of the injury reports for this coming Saturday and just what Jeff Allen's been able to do from a health standpoint. Chris from New Jersey, man, Bionic man, love the show. I appreciate you being here, man. Yeah, that tightrope surgery was wild. If you've ever looked into that tightrope surgery, how they've been able to do it, I saw a video. they were doing a tightrope surgery on a like they were practicing on a piece of celery, and it was like lasers were doing it. It was wild. All right, let's continue to move on. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Did you see this on the this is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. So you have Chris Stewart and you have Coach Kalen DeBoer, each of them laughing. Each Wednesday night, it's no longer Thursday. So if you want to catch a show, go on over to Wednesday on the athletics page, and you can watch Chris Stewart and Kalen DeBoer. And last night they had Keon Sapp as well. And during the interview, it was bound to happen. Chris Stewart calls Coach Kalen DeBoer Coach Saban. You know, it was just funny though. They both laughed about it. Chris Stewart's like, "Oh, great! I'm gonna be calling junior college games now." It's definitely a cool show to check out and to watch, and you just get another, insight to Kalen DeBoer. The thing about him is he's really even as a man. But I did like how he was a little fired up before the game against Western Kentucky with the headsets. Oh, he was pissed. You could tell. He meant business. The officials he was giving it to him. So definitely check out their show on Wednesday night. It was Thursday with Coach Saban, and then now it's bumped up on Wednesday night, and it's at bomb hours. Pee Wee's calling in. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, JS. Yeah, I was on Bleacher Report, and then I had a video go out last night that I kind of packaged together with Freddie Roach. How about this familiar name back in town? Scott Cochran, right? Seen at practice, seen in Tuscaloosa. Look at him, all smiles. Linda is saying she heard from a reliable source that Kadyn Proctor dislocated his shoulder during warmups, and he'll be evaluated week to week. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. Coach Kalen DeBoer saying day to day. I mean, I say sit him, but, man, if he wants to play, then play. So Scott Cochran, man, he was back, and he's been all smiles. And I follow him on Instagram, and he's been traveling around to former guys that he worked with. A lot of them clearly, look at his creds, right? 2007 and 2019, he was here at Alabama. You look at all of the former assistants who are now head football coaches. He's been everywhere. He was at Georgia from 2020 to 2023. So he has a huge Rolodex of different contacts. Now, just like anybody in their life, he's gone through some stuff, some personal stuff. We don't have to talk about that here. But what's amazing about it is he's taking accountability for that, and he's taking action. I've heard him aggressively on Instagram attacking deadly and dangerous drugs that are affecting the youth, which I applaud, right? Someone with a platform like that, getting aggressive about, kind of the spreading the word. That's amazing. You're leaving a mark like that. You're saving lives like that. He has BCS titles in 2003, 2019, 2011, 2012. College football titles in 15, 17, 21, and 22. Yeah, everybody remembers it, right? Yeah. Bama Hater, we're not taking calls today. I'll take calls tomorrow on the score prediction show. You can call in and tell us why South Florida beats Alabama. So tomorrow will be my call-in show. That'll be Friday. Look, a lot of people would love, look at the success that he's had, right? Let me ask you a question, and I already know the answer. In some shape or form, and I'm not saying as the strength coach, but maybe in some sort of role, would you like to see Scott Cochran come back to Tuscaloosa? I'm sure they could figure out some sort of role to get him on staff. Look at the experience that he has. David Ballou is clearly the guy, and what he's been able to do. He's a strength coach now, but in some other role or whatever, you could have him. I don't know. These guys are creative. Be like, you don't think of it as, oh, well, Alabama already has a strength coach. Doesn't matter. There's another position I'm sure that they can come up with to have him on board. Look at the experience and his creds. He has eight rings. You only have 10 fingers, right? He probably doesn't just have rings on his thumbs. Look at that. That's how many rings he has. Plus, yeah, and like Amanda's saying, he was the hype man, right? Absolutely. I don't think they're. Help me out. I'm trying to think. Is there anyone on the sideline that got the players more hyped up since 2007? Seriously, is there? I'm sure there's a couple of guys, but nobody like him, in my opinion. Well, what now? See, I agree with you. Love the current work by Cochran right now, reaching out to youth and those in power, hopefully to shape the future of kids and adults. 100%. Yeah. No, I was just saying that. Dylan, what's up, man? I appreciate you. Scott Cochran, we were just talking, about that he's back in Tuscaloosa. He's been visiting with a bunch of former Alabama assistants. I saw him with Coach Loxley. I think I saw him with Kirby. I think I saw him with Billy Napier. He's been going like everywhere. These are the topics that we're hitting on, by the way. Proctor day-to-day, if you're just joining us. Jeff Allen, he's priceless in terms of how he has helped Alabama stay healthy, get healthy, right? Hit on the injury report for this Saturday. Everyone, looks good other than Jeremiah Alexander and Jalen Hell. A lot of the guys just day-to-day. I personally don't think that Kadyn Proctor plays, but I would imagine he probably dresses out. Chris Stewart called Coach Kalen DeBoer Coach Saban. It was funny. It was bound to happen. My goodness. And Scott Cochran back in town. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here on the show. Tomorrow on Friday, the day before the game, I'll take your score predictions. And we'll get to see what you guys think for this game. I didn't realize that Western Kentucky beat South Florida last year. I definitely think that South Florida would beat Western Kentucky this year, but that kind of caught my eye. I like the coach Alex Golish. I think he's a good coach. I think, they're pretty excited about coming up to T-Town. All right. So this is a wild graphic, okay? And this is another reason that you can continue to sell Alabama to recruits, to players. So, right, the meme going around, give them money. Hey, give them money. Hey. And then you have to clown someone. You're like, give them money. And you don't say anything. All right, so look at these contracts. Tua Tagovailoa, $212 million. Jalen Waddle. Hey, though, Dolphins are getting serious. Dolphins they're building. Devontae Smith, $75 million. Calvin Ridley, $92 million. Oh my goodness. Patrick Surtain, that's a new one coming in. $96 million. Christian Barmore, $84 million. Landon Dickerson. Landon Dickerson, $84 million. He's out there just like with the normal like F-150 and like just the normal, lawnmower or tractor, right? I love it. Jerry Jeudy, $52 million. Jonah Williams, $30 million. And Josh Jacobs, now with the Packers, $48 million. Man. Oof. Who do you think's next to get paid? Oh, man, I guess we missed on Jalen Hurts, too. Because Jalen Hurts, didn't he just sign we got to add him to the graphic. I think he's making more than Tua, right? Like his overall contract. Yeah, no disrespect. It was just something that I found on online real quick while I was cutting the graphics. And see, that's another area that you sell Alabama. Like, look at the brand. And that's why, like, this is real money. Yeah, will someone look up Hurts real quick? I'm sorry, I must have missed Jalen. Will someone put Hurts contract in there? It's amazing to see. I'm interested to see if the Dolphins can do something this year. Jimmy Williams, what's up, man? Thanks for the call yesterday. Kyle, what's up, man? Jack State coach wanting to play Bama for $2 million and say Bama can beat our brains out. South Florida. It was South Florida, you're on the clock. Look, Alex Golesh is confident. He's got a lot of confidence about his team. I think he's riding off last year. It'll be different this year because of two things. Number one, it's at Bryant-Denny Stadium. And number two, he didn't face Jalen Milroe. Right? There's Jarvis. 5 years, 255. So Jalen Milroe's on top of that. Avery, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. So we forgot to add Jalen. No, that was just a mistake on my part. But, I mean, all these guys. 255 by Jalen. It's wild. All right. I wanted to ask you, I was kind of looking on the college football slate. There's not a lot of games that really jump out to me. This is this is kind of interesting. For all of the great games that are taking place this year in college football, this weekend isn't one of them. All right, so let's start on the left, and then I'll ask you on the right. So let's start with just Texas at Michigan. Noon on Saturday. It's on Fox. Texas favored by 7. If you think Texas will win, type T. If you think Michigan will win, type M. We did this yesterday, but we'll give it a little bit more time today. And thank you for everyone looked up Jalen Milroe's contract. 5 for $255. Man, that's wild. Max is in early, taking in Texas. Tim is taking Texas by 21. Chad is everyone's taking Texas. Is there anyone taking Michigan? Oh, we got Marcus from St. Pete's taking Michigan. Man, run the table. What's up, run the table? Man, this is a landslide for Texas. I'm not that guy saying it's going to be a good game, period. Wow, the line's 7. It is in the big house. Lance also says Trayvon Diggs making 97. Jeez. But a lot of T's. Wow. You know how Texas fans are, right? That win over Alabama, they're going to have that on their tombstone. Texas fan was alive to see Texas beat Alabama. But what also, can you imagine? Now, this Michigan team is not the same Michigan team as last year. I agree. I think their defense is still good. But can you imagine if Texas beats the defending champs? Oh, my God. We'll never hear the end of it. They'll have a parade in Austin. North Carolina State taking on Tennessee. That's moderately interesting. The interesting game tonight. Bama Hater has it. Texas 30, Michigan 17. Yeah, a lot of people taking Texas. Okay. Now let's go on the other side. Colorado is always fun to talk about just because it's Colorado. I used to cover the Buffs for 3 years. That was when Mike McIntyre was there. He was definitely not as interesting as Coach Prime. All right, so this is a rivalry game. If you know anything about college football, this is absolutely a rivalry game. So, same thing. Nebraska versus Colorado. Is the game in Lincoln or is it in Boulder? Same thing. If you think Nebraska will win, type in N. And if you think Colorado will win, type in C. Now, what's interesting about this game is remember Dylan Raiola, the freshman? Oh, it's in Lincoln. Thank you, Max. Appreciate it. Remember the quarterback, Dylan Raiola? So he was, I think was the number 1 rated quarterback. Originally was slated to go to Georgia. I heard, I think this was just a rumor, I'm not sure, that his dad and Kirby Smart didn't really mesh that well. So then they transferred to Nebraska. But what was interesting about Nebraska is they had just received a transfer from, remember Kyle McCord from Ohio State, who I thought was he wasn't like an elite quarterback, but he was, above average, let's say. He had gone to Nebraska, and now I think he's in Syracuse. D-Dub has Colorado with the win. I think the deciding factor in this one will be, I don't think, like, long term, I don't think either of these teams is good. Like, I don't know. Like, who wins, Florida State or Colorado? I might say Florida State. Who wins, Florida State or Nebraska? I don't know. I might say Florida State again. And you know how I've been so hard on Florida State. That's what I think. But it is a rivalry game. I just think the fact that it's in Lincoln, I think Nebraska will be a little bit better than them. You want to see a meltdown, it would be Nebraska, right? Do you see what I'm saying, JS Webb's? Like, who wins? Does Florida State, let's say you get one of these high school football, jamborees. You got Nebraska, Colorado, and Florida State. Who comes out on top? Tim, that's hilarious. Colorado would beat Florida State. I don't know, Jarvis. Colorado's terrible. Or Florida State's terrible, but I don't know. I'd love to see that game. I bet the line would be like, might be even. Colorado, a lot of people taking Colorado over Florida State. Okay. I mean, certainly Shadori Sanders is better than DJU. My goodness. And then Travis Hunter, probably one of the best in all of college football. What do you have? Over 100 snaps going both ways? The guy is a baller. Okay, so it looks like a lot of people taking Colorado over Florida State. Okay. Florida State's just a train wreck. My goodness. I hyped up the defense recently just because I think, I was listening to, even Freddie Roach yesterday on his interview. He was like, it's hard to shut out anybody, even in a video game. He's right. Shutting out an opponent in this day and age is extremely challenging. Now, you get down to the red zone. They missed a field goal. But with that said, they did have a shutout. They allowed just 145 yards. What was it, 42 yards rushing, which is crazy. They had 2 turnovers. One of them could have been a pick six, but they only had 1 quarterback sack. But I like the mentality. Like, even Freddie Roach was like, we got to do better on third downs. Man, Western Kentucky was 3 of 18. Talk about high standards, right? And I've said this all week. Like, they were so fast. They're so fast. And Jahad Campbell and Deontay Lawson, man, that wrecking ball crew. Absolutely fire. I wanted to show you some players that I'm watching this coming week against South Florida. I think a lot of the players are, kind of players we already know about. But I added like James Smith and Quay Russo are 2 players that I want to continue to see. And I threw in Elijah Pritchett just because, I don't know, if he gets a start, I'm going to be watching it. I'm going to see what he makes of his opportunities. Jalen Miller went crazy in the first game. See what he does in the second game. 7-9, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, 10 attempts. I'm wild. I don't know if Elijah Pritchett's going to play, but I'll be watching him with the microscope. And I asked this yesterday when I was on Bleacher Report. So Ryan Williams has 2 catches, right, for 139 yards. 2 touchdowns. Are we going to be upset? If he catches like a 10-yard pass and gets tackled, are we going to be like mad? They're so spoiled. And you know who's a bad man is this dude, James Smith. Woo. Man. Yo, him and Quay are... Yo, those guys are ferocious. Quay Russo moving around like that at 250 pounds? And how crazy is this? We were, I don't know. At the time, I think we were stressing that Caleb Downs left, right? That he transferred. Let's face it, we were. We're a little bit hurt. We get Keon Sabb comes in, he has 2 picks in the first quarter. That was wild. And then I mentioned just some defensive players just in total. The only player I didn't put here was Malachi Moore just because I couldn't fit him in the graphic, but like no disrespect to Malachi. I love you, Malachi. Look at all these guys eating. Tim Keenan, 31 snaps, 2 tackles. James Smith even had 2 pass breakups, getting that paw up there. LT Overton at that bandit position. Quay at the woof. Deontay Lawson, Jahad Campbell combined for over 80 snaps and 18 tackles. Damani Jackson had 40 snaps. No one even threw his way. He wasn't even targeted in this game. And Keon Sabb, 42 snaps with 2 tackles. Man, you know what? Tim, I remember Caleb Downs got absolutely destroyed. Was it by the running back or the quarterback? I can't remember the play, but it was right up the middle. Because Byron Brown's a big dude. He's like 220. And he was running, I think it was either him or it might have been the running back. Now I think about it. And he completely buried Caleb Downs. Yo, that's when they had some momentum in that game for sure. All right. Also this weekend, talked about this. The Saban field dedication. How cool is this? This is going to be amazing. This is like a whole event here in the city of Tuscaloosa. You add up everything that Coach Saban has done. You know what I need to add here that's missing? How many Heisman Trophy winners does he have? 4, right? 4 Heisman Trophy winners, too, to add to all of this. The crazy thing is that 49 first-round draft picks. Tack on 656 degrees earned, 103 master's degrees, 21 homes built. So this is going to take place at halftime of this game. And it's got to be halftime because Coach Saban will be, I guess, in Ann Arbor. They're going to fly him in on his private jet to Tuscaloosa, get him to the field, get him out on halftime. Man. That's going to be cool. And I know a lot of you want the stadium to be named, Nick Saban Stadium. I like the field. I don't know. I'm like at peace with it. Now my little campaign is to talk enough about getting Miss Terry like a little plaque or something like that, or even a little statue. I think she needs one. Right? That's a good one. Yeah. How many number 1 recruiting classes? I don't know. That's a good question. How about this? How many 5-stars have committed to him? That'd be a good one too. All right, fam. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for being here today, right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I am now taking off my working hat and putting on my dad hat as I'm taking my daughter's lunch to her at school. So every single day before the kids leave, I make them breakfast, but I also put Lacey's lunch in her backpack. Today, I forgot. It was a mistake on my part. So I got to go to the middle school right now and take my daughter her lunch. I hope you guys have an amazing day. back as news happens. I love you guys. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, super chats, or being a fan funder, or just hitting the thumbs up. If you're listening on Spotify, that's what's up too. Bama Football on Spotify, Facebook, TikTok, X, all that stuff. And I appreciate you guys. Tomorrow score predictions, okay? So we'll probably do, we might do a mailbag tomorrow, but definitely score predictions. So we'll take your calls tomorrow right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you very much for allowing me to have time with you guys this morning. I know there's a lot of different shows. Please support all of the shows. It's cool to see all the content creators doing their best to give you Alabama football coverage. I appreciate you guys being here. Have an amazing Thursday, September 5th, and I'll catch up with you guys as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. It's almost week 2. Yo, you got some NFL. Okay, as I dip out, my last thing is, okay, Baltimore or Kansas City tonight. Type K for Kansas City and type B for Baltimore, all right, inside the comment box. I don't know. I'm gonna post my answer inside the comment box tonight too. Love you guys, and I'll catch up with you soon right here on